Hello my friends. My name is Bot Mathematician, and this is Holomancer.
Today we want to tell you about strategies for buying packs. This video is an extension to our Hearthstone economy research. We received a lot of interesting opinions, critiques and suggestions regarding our research.
Thank you guys for your interest, your comments were very helpful to us. So let's start with one of the conclusions of our research.
Hearthstone is a very expensive card game. You can play it absolutely free, but you must be stubborn, and use your resources correctly. Without investing real money, you will hardly be able to collect the entire collection of cards.
Sadly, this is how it is. We also need to remember that Hearthstone is a collectible card game, albeit digital. The main goal of all collectible card games is to collect as many cards as possible. The more cards you have, the more decks you can use.
If you have been playing for a long time, you probably have a large collection of cards and your own personal pack strategy. However, if you are a new player, it's very difficult to build a good collection and play without spending money.
Now let's determine the optimal number of packs to buy. According to our calculations, you should buy between 90 and 110 packs each new expansion. Of course, more is better, but for free-to-play players, and for players who are not willing to invest a lot of money into the game, this is a really optimal amount.
From the 110 packs, on average you will get 6 legendary cards plus 1 as a gift for logging in. 22 epic cards. Almost the entire collection of rare cards and 1000 dust from extra copies. The entire collection of common cards and 1500 dust from extra copies. Plus, about 1700 dust for the golden cards. We tried to determine the main strategies that players use. These are universal tips for players who invest real money, and for free-to-play players.
According to my data, at least 40% of players buy a pack as soon as they receive 100 gold. Many players start to accumulate gold a month before the release of a new expansion. I agree, this strategy is fun. If you actively play, you can open a pack every day and get a reward immediately.
This is absolutely normal, but the game economy has many limitations. Throughout the year, we always have a release of 3 different expansions. The time between them is always about 4 months. During this time, developers give us the opportunity to effortlessly collect enough free resources to purchase a minimum of 100 packs, and collect a sufficient amount of other resources equivalent to 3,300 dust. Sadly, however, the amount of resources saved over 1 month is definitely not enough.
All that remains for the players in this case, is to make a pre-order, or over the next 3 months, buy packs from the new expansion, to get the missing cards. With this approach, if you spend money on pre-orders you are fine. If you play without money, you will be collecting new cards for a long time, and you will not be able to enjoy most of the mechanics and strategies right after the release of the new expansion. Such a strategy limits your opportunities.
Now we want to tell you about our strategy. We call it the rational strategy.
We prefer to use gaps between expansions to collect resources. This way, on the day of release, we can open the maximum possible number of packs and immediately get the new cards added to the game.
If you think your resources are insufficient, you can still pre-order before the release of the new set.
After the release, I continue to open the packs one by one for some time, until I get a legendary card. Sometimes it takes 2 weeks.
Then we usually create a video about the most popular cards in the game.
After that I analyze my collection, compare it with the results of Matterport, and create the most necessary cards using dust. This is a very important stage. Do not create all the most popular cards at once.
The resources of all plays are usually very limited. First of all, pay attention to the decks for which you have the most components already.
I always maintain a large supply of dust, then I start collecting gold for the new expansion. During this period, I continue to gradually craft cards to create new decks. I have been using this strategy since 2015. At that time, I decided not to buy new packs from the Grand Tournament, and I spent my gold reserves on classic packs, and started collecting gold right away for the next new expansion.
To switch to this strategy, you most likely will have to ignore one expansion, and only craft the most necessary cards from dust, or buy a very small amount of packs. This is the main problem of this strategy.
Many may not agree with my strategy, because it is too boring and pragmatic, but I'm a bot, and I cannot act impulsively.
Let's talk about Arena. Some players choose to invest all of their hard-earned gold in the Arena instead of buying packs from the shop. Arena is easily the most profitable way to gain gold, dust and packs. Entry into the Arena costs 150 gold or $2. To break even in Arena in terms of value, you need to get 3 to 4 wins. This rewards you with one guaranteed pack, an average of 40-65 gold, and a small amount of dust. 12 victories can bring you, besides pack, more than 300 gold.
But you should understand that this strategy requires a lot of experience and skill.
Let's talk about new players. Newbies usually do not have a strategy, but we can give a few recommendations.
First of all, you should go from rank 50 to 25 on the ladder. You will get classic packs, and packs from latest sets. You should always remember that Blizzard guarantees a legendary card in the first 10 packs that you open for a specific expansion.
It's worth buying up to 10 of every card pack. Buy packs from the store one at a time, until you get a guaranteed legendary card. You can also purchase the Welcome Bundle and get 10 classic packs and a legendary dragon only for $5, but you must remember that it's not necessary.
More than half of the players in Hearthstone never spend money on the game.
After that, buy only the classic set to build a strong foundation. You can use several budget decks. You can use cards from other sets to craft these. We recommend buying classic packs for 5 to 8 months. During this period, one new expansion will be released. We recommend ignoring it if you don't want to spend real money. The developers are likely to give you enough new packs to get a guaranteed legendary card. Gradually, resources will accumulate. Have patience. After some time you will be able to disenchant unused cards from your collection and create one strong meta deck to rise higher on the ladder. Wait for the release of the next expansion, and then decide on your future strategy. Buy a new set, buy a few packs from past sets, or start collecting gold for the next expansion.
You should always remember about the annual April rotation of sets, where the 3 oldest sets will go into the wild mode. For this reason, you should not buy packs from these expansions. We recommend focusing your attention on the newest and next expansions. In any case, you must work for 12 to 16 months for a decent collection.
But you can also use a credit card strategy and get a good collection right now. For this, you should spend only $985.
Time to pay!
For this amount of money, you will immediately receive 110 packs of each of the 6 expansions and 250 classic packs.
We have a few more recommendations for you. Remember, a large collection is important, but your skill and brain play a very important role.
Be careful when you craft cards for popular decks with the highest win rate. Very often, the most popular and powerful decks receive a nerf from the developers. In this case, you can disenchant the cards for the full cost, but sometimes the target of the nerf is cheap cards, which are just an auxiliary component. In this case, the deck will become weaker, the meta will change, and you will not gain back your resources.
Do not seek to create all meta decks. Choose the most interesting of them, or the most affordable for you.
In the first year of the game, you can disenchant the cards that ship to wild mode during the rotation. If you play for a long time, we do not recommend getting rid of all of the cards. On the other hand, this is a good opportunity to collect Bank of Dust. But still, if you do this, you will block your ability to play wild mode for a very long time.
If you are an experienced player, you should always have a stockpile of arcane dust. Firstly, it is convenient. When a new, interesting deck appears, you can immediately create the missing cards. Secondly, it will help you survive any crisis that may occur. At any time you can lose your luck. You may get too few legendary or epic cards, or you can get absolutely useless cards from your packs. Take care of your resources and make the right investments, then you can have a really good collection.
And what do you think? What is your strategy? We created a YouTube poll. Find the button on the screen, please vote. Also share your secrets, tips and strategies in the comments.
Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for being with us.
And special thanks to Chris for text editing.
We will meet in new videos.
Good luck.